Welcome to the computer-based testing presentation for elementary math. At this point in the year, you've probably given the form to assessment, analyzed your data, and created a plan to help your students master their grade level standards. You may have noticed when you were analyzing the assessment that some students utilized the scratch paper when answering questions and others did not. This may be the first time your students completed a computer-based math assessment. The purpose of this presentation is to provide you resources to ensure your students are prepared for computer-based testing. For the math portion of the FSA, students in grades 3 through 5 will receive a computer-based testing work folder as shown on this slide. The work folder contains the cover page, the testing rules acknowledgement page, a blank page, and the last page is similar to a grid or graph paper. Students will have access to this work folder for the math assessment. To access the computer-based work folder, you can open up your internet browser or Google Chrome and type in www.fsassessments.org. On the right side of the browser, you can click on FSA Resources and then Test Administration. As you scroll, you'll notice you'll see the planning sheet, CBT worksheet, and CBT work folder. This is the work folder that students in grades 3 through 5 will have access to for the math portion of FSA. If you click on that, it will bring it up as a PDF. You can save this PDF to your desktops. You can reference it at any time. You can print copies of it for your students to have access to. I'm just going to save it on my desktop as CBT work folder. That way I know that I can find it and print it if I need it for my students to practice. For many students, this is the first time they are using a work folder to record their thinking. Now is a wonderful time to help them learn how to organize their work when solving problems on the computer. For example, this equation, 2 plus 2 equals 4, takes up the entire work page. You might want to remind students that they will have around 60 problems to solve over the 2 days of FSA testing, so they might begin to think about how to organize their work. There are many different ways to prepare your students for computer-based testing. A good idea is to have your students get plenty of practice with answering computer-based testing questions. All unit assessments can be found on SchoolCity. As students take upcoming assessments or go back to previous assessments to practice the skill of answering technology-embedded questions, encourage them to work out the problems from the unit assessments in the computer-based testing work folder. You might need to conduct a mini lesson on how to utilize the computer-based testing work folder so students can keep their work organized and can refer back to their work when they are checking their answers. fsassessments.org has practice computer-based testing questions for grades 3 through 5. These tests show the item types. Students can practice using the equation editor, drag and drop, and other technology-embedded item types. In addition to fsassessments.org, students can practice technology-embedded questions on the PARCC website that is listed on this slide. Also, including the computer-based testing work folder into daily instruction will help your students familiarize themselves with how they can use the folder to show their work. Now is the time to prepare for computer-based testing. It's important that students have plenty of opportunities to solve math problems on the computer, take unit assessments on the computer, and familiarize themselves with the item types they might see on FSA. As often as possible, provide your students with the opportunities so that all students are successful.